Hello my dear friend, welcome back to my channel. This is Junie's Weekly Plan With Me. This year's October 1st is Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival in lunar calendar, so if you watch my monthly Buzhou setup video, you've already known that the theme for this month is moon and bunnies. So I did a 3-layer rotation pop-up design on the cover page, and some of you may think it is too hard. So in today's video, I bring a really simple pop-up setup and you don't even need any ruler or pencil guide to make it work. I'll also introduce an advanced version of it at the end of this video, so stay with me and you'll find out. Now let's get started. Before the pop-up, I'm going to work on the weekly spreads drawing and layouts first. Here I'm using Sakura Sigma Macro 05 liner pen to draw 2 bunnies on the middle bottom. By the way, if you haven't watched my monthly plan with me yet, I'll leave a link in the right up corner and description box down below for you to check out. There are a lot of adorable bunnies waiting for you there. As I'm drawing, I want to say thank you for all the positive feedback from you who watched the other October Buzhou Halloween theme setup video that I did for my husband, in which he did voiceover as a special guest. We're so happy you liked that video, and hopefully I can invite him again in the future. So for today's weekly spread, I'm drawing 2 bunnies. You can understand it as mother bunny and a baby bunny, sitting in a boat, flying sky lanterns. And next to them, there are some lotus flowers and leaves. In Chinese culture, the lotus flower is regarded as a symbol of purity, enlightenment, self-regeneration, and rebirth. After finishing the line work, I'm taping this washi tape on, leaving 10 dot space in the middle so I can paint the edge clean. By the way, you can get 10% off with my coupon code JUNIE10 at the washi tape shop. I love watercolor, but because of this notebook I'm using, the paper absorbs water too quickly, it's hard to paint evenly, so this time I decided to try gouache for this background. As for the brushes, I picked a medium-sized flat brush and a round pointy smaller one. The gouache pigment is from Atiza, and you can find the link to this product in the description as well as all other supplies I'm using in this video. Now let's start to color it with the bigger brush first for the most of the area, leaving the outline edges for later. Oh, I also adding a little bit purple to match the color I used on the previous pages. So the good thing about gouache is that it is super opaque and it hardly penetrates to the back of the paper. Here what I have is 160 GSM. Even for my husband's journal, which is 120 GSM, there's no problem either. For the water part, I'm actually mixing more purple and light blue to give a sparkling wave feeling. I also put some gold color on after, which is not recorded, but you can see it at the final look. Now the background is done. I still choose watercolor to color the bunnies and sky lantern, so this whole month setup could be more cohesive. I start with the top of the lantern with some red and orange tone color, then slowly transfer it to yellow. And also try to give a transparent look on the bottom half since the lantern is made of paper. Then add a few brushes of bright yellow to represent fire. At the end, apply red on the wish notes. I don't know about you, my wish right now is definitely hoping this COVID-19 situation to be over soon. Oh, then I realized the tape is covering part of the lantern, so I'm taking it off. I added it slow here so we can watch and enjoy the process. For me, it's just so satisfying to watch it. Okay, let me fix that corner really quick, and now we can move on to the bunnies. Here I choose a light beige color, and I really like the blush I draw on her face, even though it's messed up a little bit because of the paper. And then for the baby bunny, I almost make the same mistake, but luckily I noticed it and get rid of the washi tape that covers her ear. The color I put on her is more like light gray and pink since she is still young with baby fur. The next is to paint the boat. Light brown color the outside and the dark brown color for the inside. I also try to give the boat some wood texture, but it doesn't turn out as good as I want, mainly because the brush pen is kinda too big for this step. But it's okay, I'll just go with it. Oh yeah, and don't forget to color the petal with a dark brown too. The lotus flower is really easy to color. I give an overall light pink first and then emphasize the pointy end of each petal with slightly dark pink. Also remember that the outside of the petal will be darker than the inside surface. As for the leaves, I just color it with the cocktail green. At the end, as always, I like to emphasize the edge to make the overall drawing pop out more. The pen I'm using is Sakura Sigma Graphic 1. The thickness is similar to Tombow Fudenasaku pen, but with hard tape. Now let's peel the tape again together and get ready for making the pop-up. Here are some really beautiful examples from Irma's pop book, like the zebra. This one is pretty complicated obviously, but the one we're going to do is the center fold area. When we open it, the body section comes up, and then when you close it, it folds back. So that's basically what today's tutorial is about. Here is another one that is more close to what we're going to make today, which is the V-shaped structure where the leopards are. Without further ado, let's get started. The base can be whatever size you want. Here I'm just using the same paper from my A5 notebook and cutting about 5 dots with strap. I don't need this long and I actually need 2 for 2 setup, so I cut it into 5 by 9 each. Again, you can use whatever size you need based on the piece you want to glue on. Fold it first, and then you want to find a baseline on the lower part of your paper and the angle from there. It could be any angle you want, and different angle will give you different effects. Here I'm using 22.5 degree, but feel free to play around and find the one you like. Fold it again and then cut the small triangle away on the bottom part from the folding point. And now it's done. Same method, let's make another one. The next step is to draw the pop-up pieces. Here I plan to make a moon, 2 clowns, and a sky lantern. After quickly sketching out the shape of each piece, I go in with Arteza Iconic Fine Liner pen, dark blue color to outline the clown, and then give a little bit shades with the light blue color. Also draw out the lantern with a thicker black liner. Then same as other drawing in the journal, I'm using watercolor to color it. The brand of this watercolor is Paul Rubens, and it is my favorite art supply right now. The quality of pigment is really good for its price, and of course also because the middle box is my favorite color, pink. Now let's cut them out. In order to blend the pop-up base in the background better, I decided to color them with dark blue too. But before that, let me trim the taping area narrower first. I'm holding the left down corner while coloring, and since that part will be glued to the paper later, it's okay to skip it for coloring. While waiting for it to get dry, let me work on the weekly layout first. For this spread, I'm actually putting 2 wicks in. On both sides, I divide the space vertically, and each section is 4 dots height with 1 dot in between. Okay, now let's set it up. Place it in the middle symmetrically aligned with the bending line. The angle varies depends on the folding angle you decide earlier. Here I want the moon to be on the left side and the clown to be on the right side, covering part of the moon. One thing you need to pay attention on is that if you place your pieces beyond the middle line, then you should try closing it, see if it fits when it's fully closed. As for the second pop-up section, I actually only want the left side to be shown as we open it. So I'm cutting away about 2/3 of the right side, but make sure it still have at least a quarter left so the pop-up can work. Then just like the cover page, I cut a piece of plus paper and use it to glue the sky lantern on the back of the right end. Again, you want to try since the piece will be relatively long and can be stuck anywhere. Since the back of the base is kinda showing from the front and top angle, let me also color it with the dark blue really quick. Then I use Uni Gold gel pen to add twinkle twinkle little stars. In order to match this month's overall style, I'm also going to stamp the dates with the alphabet stamps. Before showing you the advanced version, I want to quickly mention that you can download the digital version of this weekly spread on my Patreon, as well as all other spreads in my bullet journal. It will be a couple bucks per month as subscription, and it means a lot to me and this channel. Oh, there's one more thing. I know some of you may notice that the cover page is a little bit thick, so the pages after it could be kind of bumpy, but for today's design, you don't need to worry about that. Also, when you write things, the pop-up section could be flattened if you press it, and it'll jump back once you move your finger. Okay, now let's talk about this slightly harder version, which I call it M fold instead of wave fold. The first few steps are the same, folding into a half and find a random angle to fold the bottom up, then cut the triangle from the folding point. The next step doesn't have to make it symmetrical, so I'm doing the right side as an example now. One thing you need to pay attention is that this folding line has to point to right up direction, cannot be left up. And now we have the half of the M. Same method on the left side too. Of course, you can make it symmetrical if you want, by the way. There are two ways to glue it on paper. On the right side, I'm showing you the way of hiding the glue area, but you need to cut it into two sections first, then glue it and place it behind the whole setup. On the left side, I'm going to glue it in the front, which means put glue on the back of the setup. Based on your need, it could also be part of your design. Let's go a little bit further beyond the simple M. On the right side valley area, you can make another fold which will turn to a mountain. Same method, you can also fold the mountain section and create another valley like the one I'm doing on the left side. So yeah, there are many possibilities that you can try and find out. That's all I want to share with you today. I hope I explained everything clear enough for you to understand. Go ahead and create something different if you don't want to follow the exact drawings and designs I made. Leave comments and let me know if you have any questions. Since I only made the first 2 weeks spread here, I'll be making another pop-up design for the next week's spread and share with you soon. Thank you for watching. I hope this weekly plan with me / tutorial video is helpful or inspiring for you.